Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. This video is a highlight of our Christmas and New Year cruise to New Zealand in 2023. We have sailed with Royal Caribbean one time prior to this. This was definitely the biggest class of ship that we'd been on so far. On boarding day, we had a pretty early boarding time, so we decided to take a bit of time to explore around the ship. This was our first time doing a Christmas cruise, and luckily for us, this one was Christmas and New Year. In total, it was a 10-night cruise going from Sydney around New Zealand and then coming back to Sydney. We visited 4 destinations in New Zealand, stopping at Dunedin, Christchurch, Picton and Wellington. We also sailed through Milford Sound, Dusky Sound and Doubtful Sound, which are absolutely beautiful. If you are planning to sail on the Ovation of the Seas, I definitely recommend checking out the Bionic Bar. This is a bar where a robot will serve you your drink. You just place your order on the tablet or iPad. You can order from standard drinks or you can make your own. And then when it's your turn, the little robot will make your drink for you. The great part about this is the kids can use it too, as it doesn't just do alcoholic drinks, it will make you soft drinks and mocktails as well. I found it to be a lot of fun and just really cute to watch the robot make you your drink. The only downside is that throughout our cruise there was only one robot working the entire time. And we did find that later on another Quantum class ship that the Bionic Bar was completely out of order for the duration of our cruise. So sometimes it can break down, but if it is working, I do recommend that you give it a go. For this cruise, we booked interconnecting interior rooms on Deck 10. Our rooms were located close to the front of the ship, really good proximity to the elevators and the stairs, and the Solarium, which was just 2 decks above us. The rooms are what you'd expect for an interior room. These ones, however, come with a virtual balcony. So although you don't actually have a window to the outside, it just sort of seems like you do, and it's just a nice touch to the room. Between the 4 of us, having the interconnecting rooms works really well. Always a really good option if you're traveling with kids or other people in your party, so you can stay close by, but also have a little bit of personal space. The North Star on the Ovation of the Seas is a unique observation pod that elevates guests 300 feet above sea level, offering stunning 360-degree views of the surrounding ocean and ports. On our sailing, it was offered for free on port days. If you wanted to do it on a sea day, it would cost you a fee. My father and I paid the fee to do it on a sea day, as when you do the paid version, it also takes you over the sides of the ship, as opposed to just going up and down. In my opinion, I feel like it was definitely worth paying the money for that experience. The Ripcord by iFly experience on Ovation of the Seas is definitely a must-do. My father and I participated in this activity. We did the free version, which was offered on port days. The whole experience takes about an hour once you've done your safety briefing and instructions, and then everybody gets 1 minute of fly time in the tube. 1 minute may not seem like a lot for the experience, but it was definitely worth it. I do recommend you try it if you're sailing on a Quantum class ship. Our first stop was Dunedin. The ship pulls up in Port Chalmers. It's roughly 15 kilometres from Dunedin city centre. So after taking a short stroll through Port Chalmers, we decided to catch a local bus into the town. We didn't have a really big plan for Dunedin, so we ate some fish and chips at a local eatery. We also had a Spates beer, which you need to try when you're in New Zealand. We found this really cool old train that was part of Dunedin's history. The older gentleman who mans the train, he was a little bit funny. He didn't like anyone touching the knobs and the levers and got a little bit angry when some kids and even us tried to play with them. He kind of reminded me of this guy. Dunedin also is home to the world's steepest street. You can see in the picture that many people were walking up it. We got a driver who drove us up to the top. Our driver then took some photos for us at the top of the street and then took us on a really nice scenic journey back to the cruise ship. Our second port of call on this cruise was Christchurch. Christchurch is very well known for its seismic activity. The last major earthquake in Christchurch was on February 22nd, 2011, with a magnitude of 6.3. Although they have had many, this one in particular is considered to be one of their worst. When we were there, they were still doing some rebuilding of the church that was impacted by the last earthquake. We decided to go to the Earthquake Museum, which was quite fun and interactive and a good way to learn about the history. Christchurch is also very well known for its trams. We didn't book a tour for the trams. We had no specific plans. We just decided to wander around and take in the sights. It does look like it would be a fun way to get around though. As we were wandering around, we found this really nice alleyway that had lots of shops and cafes. And the tram also comes straight through it as well. It gets quite close to you as it comes down the tracks. We found the Waffle House and decided to stop and have some Belgian waffles. They were delicious. Our third stop on this cruise was Picton. Picton is a really small town with a population of roughly 4,000 to 5,000 people. After a short bus ride out of the terminal into the town, we just took a little wander around, saw some sights, and ate at a local eatery. It is a relatively touristy town, so it's a really good place to get some souvenirs if you want to remember your time in Picton. Unless you plan a tour or excursion, there probably isn't that much to do in Picton, so we spent about half the day out in town and then went back to the ship. We still had a really good time though, and actually thought it was one of the better stops out of all of them, just because of its beauty and just how tranquil the small town was. Our final port of call was in the town of Wellington. We had already previously booked a ride on the cable car, which is a very popular attraction in Wellington. I would definitely recommend pre-booking your tickets before you go, as if you just want to get a ticket on the day, the line was extremely long. It seems like everybody wants to ride the cable car. Because we had tickets pre-purchased, we were able to cut past most of the line and get on the cable car pretty quickly. The cable car takes you up a hill up to a place where you can see the sights. There's some shops up there. There's also some cafes and places to get a coffee and sit down and eat. And it was all a lot of fun and really enjoyable. It would have been slightly more enjoyable if it wasn't blowing a gale. I know that Wellington has a name for being a windy city, but this was wind that was beyond anything I had ever experienced. Because of that, we spent about half the day out in Wellington before heading back to the ship to get warm. My husband and I decided to do the all-access ship tour. This tour takes you to the bridge, the engine control room, the I-95, backstage in the theatre, the laundry, the galley, the food stores, and also the garbage and recycling area. It's a pretty long tour, at least a couple of hours. That being said, it was totally worth it. If you are interested in how things run behind the scenes, this would be a really good thing for you to do. All of the people take a lot of pride in their work, and they're all very happy to tell us about how things work and what they do to make the ship run successfully. I really enjoyed it, and I would recommend you try it. The ship itself is absolutely amazing. We all had a really, really good time. We just love how they always change the day of the week in the elevators just to remind you what day it is. The facilities on board were all amazing. The gym was well equipped and it had a really nice view of the ocean. The adults only solarium was just a really nice part of the ship. We spent a lot of time here, especially in the mornings, just in the hot tub with a mango daiquiri, just kind of soaking up the sun. We did a cupcake making class, which was a little bit of fun. They give you like a little demonstration of a few things you can do to decorate your cupcake. And then at the end, you get a little certificate saying that you did the class. All of the food and the drinks on board were fantastic. I can't remember really having one bad meal. On Christmas Day and New Year's Eve, they really looked after us by providing some really good food and even giving us a free glass of bubbles to bring in the new year. My daughter even decided to brave trying escargot for the first time. There are so many fun things to do on this ship. We've already seen the iFly and the North Star. There's also the Flow Rider, which we didn't do because this was a New Zealand cruise, so it was kind of cold. There's also bumper cars and roller skating, which alternate throughout the cruise. This still has to be one of my absolute favorite cruises out of all the ones I've done. We all had an amazing time on board and I really miss being on this ship and I can't wait to do another Christmas cruise. I hope this video has given you a good insight as to what to expect on Ovation of the Seas. Let me know in the comments what you thought of your time on Ovation of the Seas if you've been on her already. Thank you for watching, and until next time, happy cruising!